So with that, Eric Weatherbee.
I want to thank Russ for inviting me, and thank you guys for taking a little bit of time out of your day on a busy week, the fall break and all the things that are happening in October to listen to what the Knoxville Track Club is doing, who we have been. I've got a couple of brief slides kind of talk about where the Knoxville Track Club has come from. And I want to talk about where we're going and what we're trying to do and how that involves the community, because at the end of the day, the running community that we're trying to build in Knoxville is something that is really special, and that's what I want to share with you. So I'm going to go through some quick slides. I want plenty of time for questions at the end. Maybe I won't use this. Good to go. Forward. Yeah. There we go. Let's go to the first one. The basics of KTC. So we are a nonprofit. The Knoxville Track Club exists to encourage lifelong physical well-being through running and walking. Our vision is that healthy living and healthy communities, one step at a time. So the healthier we are as a community, you guys see this in your workplace, in your peer groups. The healthier we are, the more active we are, the more engaged we are in the civic needs of the community, what's going on in the community, and what we need to be doing to continue to grow Knoxville. We were actually incorporated in 1962. We're one of the oldest running clubs in the entire country. We're a 501c3 under the umbrella of the Road Runners Club of America. So we are super busy behind the scenes. So as a nonprofit, we have this mission of seeing people be active and healthy through running and walking, but we do it in a number of different ways. Every year, we put on 15 or more, or a little bit less sometimes, based on weather, road races. So when you see the roads closed on July 3rd for the Fireball Classic, on Memorial Day weekend for Expo, on New Year's Day for the New Year's Day 5K, and especially in April, that whole weekend when we close down most of Knoxville for the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon, that's the Knoxville Track Club. We are not a race management company, but we put on these events to continue to grow the community, give people that are training in running clubs that happen all over the community a chance to set goals and meet those goals. We also put on 12 trail races. Those span in distance from 1 mile all the way to 50K. We go all the way almost up to Kentucky, towards the Tri-Cities, down towards Chattanooga. So we're taking advantage of the state parks. We also do what we call urban trail running. So we have events at Meads Quarry, at Concord, Icy King Park, Fort Dickerson. So we want to showcase what Knoxville and what East Tennessee has to offer through our trails. We do social and group runs on any given night of the week. There are between 5 and 10 group runs happening all over town, all the way out to Farragut, all the way down in Maryville. Oak Ridge has some, Powell, downtown. So there, and you've seen them. You've been going home from work and you've seen 10, 20, 50 people running through the old city. Those are groups that have assimilated based on like pace, like phase of life, or just this desire that it's better to run and better to have accountability when people are looking out for me and texting me saying, hey, we missed you at Run Club on Wednesday night, or we missed you at Run Club on Saturday morning. Hopefully on Saturday mornings, you're not seeing them because they're usually out at like 4 or 5 in the morning training for crazy long things that we put on. But we also have a group training program called Run Knox. So some people get into running because their cardiologist or their primary care doctor or somebody said, you need to be a little healthier. You need to get out and walk or run. And so they go to Runner's Market, or they go to Dick's House of Sport for the long run, and they get a pair of running shoes and they start walking, or they start running, but they don't really know what they're doing. They just know that they need to do something. Well, we have a group training program that helps them decide what's the best course of action. Maybe they want to do a 5K for the first time. So we have some Couch to 5K programs. Maybe they've been doing it for a little while and they say, well, maybe I want to do a half marathon. Maybe I want to do the Covenant Health Knoxville half marathon. Or maybe they've done a couple of half marathons and they say, I want to try to do a marathon. And so we have a program and coaches that help get them from where they're at to where they want to go. We do that through accountability. We do that through training programs, runs, and all those kind of fun things. And then lastly, and this is one of the biggest ones around, the youth track and field and cross-country programs. We adore and love seeing young people be active. And the elementary, middle, and high school cross-country and track and field programs in East Tennessee are among the greatest in the entire country. I'm biased, but I'm also right. So we are invested in that and in those sports as well. The cool thing about our nonprofit is we are a member-driven nonprofit. So we have been, since our inception in 1962, we've had Knoxville Track Club members. And members get a variety of different things. We've got discounts at local running shops, some vendors in town, some restaurants in town will give Knoxville Track Club members 10% off their purchase. Or basically, we just go to folks and say, listen, we actually have almost 2,000 members. Right now, it's like 1,890. It fluctuates given the time of year. After marathon, we always have a lot of members. And after January 1, when people are signing up for gym memberships, we're encouraging them to sign up for Knoxville Track Club memberships. It's like $30 a year. You get you get a free race, you get discounts at all of our races. But it holds us accountable, both from a financial perspective and an operational perspective. We've got all of these people that are saying, what are we doing as a club to grow the community of runners and walkers in Knoxville? And so 1,800 members is a lot. We're not the New York Road Runners or Atlanta Track Club or somebody like that that's got thousands of members. But per capita, year after year, we're in the top 5 running clubs in the entire country. So little old Knoxville, super active. We get to go to these big conferences like Running USA, the running event, and we actually hold weight with groups that put on like the Boston Marathon and the Chicago Marathon, because even though they have like 40 or 50 or 60 full-time employees and we only have 3, like we're putting on scaled events for our population that are like what they're doing in those big metropolises. So we are a membership-driven nonprofit. Only having a couple of paid staff members, we rely heavily on volunteers. These are our annual volunteer statistics from last year, the full year of 2024. We had more than 7,500 volunteers across all of our events. That was 12,000 volunteer hours. We have a donation give back program. So it's kind of counterintuitive. You say, okay, well, you're volunteering, you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, but we want to give back to track teams and soccer teams and swim teams and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, anybody that needs money, that's putting on bake sales and all the other things. So we have a give back program. If they bring 10 or more people and do an aid station or help us at the finish line, we give back monetarily to those groups because we're essentially just that pass-through charity. And we want to reward them for that volunteer service, but we also want to give more exposure to what we're doing, because we believe that when those kids or when those adults see what's going on, when they see thousands of runners, they begin to say, maybe I could do that. Or maybe they see somebody they know running a 5K or a 10K or a half marathon, and they go, I did not know they were doing that. And then they strike up a conversation, maybe at a barbecue or at a lunch or at work, and that helps us continue to grow the sport locally. So this is the list of all, not all, but a lot of our partners in the community. A lot of them you'll recognize. The marathon is 23 years old this year. And since its inception, we have partnered with the Pat Neal Rehab Center. We give back to lots of local schools, Rocky Mountain Multi-Sport Club, the Appalachian Mountain Bike Club. They maintain so many of the urban wilderness trails for us to be able to run on. Legacy Parks Foundation, the Clinch Valley Trail Alliance in Oak Ridge and Anderson County. And then the local parks and greenways, our staff serve on various of the greenway commissions and the local parks and rec advisory boards. So we're involved in the community. A lot of things that if you've ever been on the greenways and you see the mile markers that say like 5.5 miles or 5 miles, we actually donated the signs for that. So there's little old Knoxville Track Club logos on some of them. So we exist in the background in a lot of things because that's our goal. We just want to see the community grow. We don't want to necessarily be front and center. We just want to see things happening. Now, I think that's our last slide. So I'm going to run into what we're doing now. Yes. This week, and probably for the last couple of weeks, you have seen us be much more active because the Knoxville Marathon for the first 15 years in its existence finished inside Neyland Stadium, which was a super cool event. Finishing on the 50 was something that alumni and people got behind and loved to do. Well, as all things naturally ebb and flow, we remember those days of the University of Tennessee football program not selling at the levels that they did in the 90s and not quite at the level that they are today. And so when things started to get better and the facilities needed upgrading, all of those facility changes happen in the off season. And our race happens in the off season. So we had to pivot and leave the stadium, and we started finishing the Knoxville Marathon in the World's Fair Park, which is a fantastic place to finish. It highlights downtown, it highlights the World's Fair area, but it left us without this like draw back to the stadium. And so for the last 6 years, the question we get most often is, when do you go back to the stadium? I'll come back and do the half marathon or the marathon or the 5K when you get back. And we go to other races to see what's going on, and we put up exhibits, and we talk at Indianapolis and Atlanta and Kiowa, and we try to encourage people, hey, come to Knoxville. It's not as flat as running at Kiowa or in Florida, but it's more of a challenge. So come to Knoxville and run the hills in downtown. And the question we always get, are you guys going back to the stadium? Well, it took me, I started in this full-time role January of 2023, and the first thing I did was email the athletic department and start the conversation. When can we go back to the stadium? It's the thing that will grow this running community the most, and that's really my goal. I want to see more people be active, be outdoors. It's a sport that I love. I've been running since I was 4 years old. How can I get more people excited about it? Well, in June of this year, UT relented and said, hey, you can do it, but it has to be on this day in October. Okay, you gave me 110 days to plan a race for a couple thousand people. Well, that has turned into 5,000 people. And the finish on the field 5K Saturday morning this week will be the largest nonprofit 5K in Tennessee state history. And we're still getting 100 registrations a day. So my advice to you, avoid downtown Saturday morning unless you want to be involved in what we're trying to do. Because a lot of you have been to games. The product on the field is phenomenal. Danny White has done a great job, but it is an expensive trip to go and watch a football game now. Stadium is open. We're expecting 15 to 20,000 spectators, as well as 5,000 plus runners. So it's an event that will draw people to the sport, will draw people to downtown, and it is exactly what we are trying to do as a nonprofit. We have people that have never done a 5K that are coming, that are going to come walk and experience this environment of, I can do this. We go to health fairs monthly, and people are like, they just walk past our table. And I always stop them. I say, especially like Y12, the guys at Y12 are like, I could never do a 5K. You walk 3 miles from your building to get over here for the health fair. Like you can, the reality is walking and running is at the core of the human civilization. And so we're just channeling it into a community of people that are doing big things. And so we turn around right on the heels of this event at Neyland Stadium. And next year we'll do it at Covenant Health Park, and then hopefully at Thompson Bowling Arena, and then at maybe a completed Lindsey Nelson Stadium. So the stadium series that will draw people in that may not normally have a connection to the running community, but they sure as heck have a connection to UT because they cheer on that team, or they cheer on the baseball team or the basketball teams. And so we're trying to combine this sport that we love with things that they love in general as well. In November, the big thing that we do is the turkey trot. Thanksgiving remains the most popular day to run and walk in the entire 365 days. Between our event and some other events in the neighboring counties, we have over 12,000 people on Thanksgiving morning getting out and doing a 5K, a 1 mile, a 10K. Studies continue to show when families get together, you either marry into a family that is a turkey trot family or you're not. And a lot of you will laugh because you know, like I'm married into a turkey trot family, or my child married into a turkey trot family. It is the most popular day to do it. Christmas, nobody wants to run on Christmas or Christmas Eve, but Thanksgiving morning, man, they want to get in that calorie deficit before they start eating. So we have some big events. Turkey trot, we usually have about 4,000 or 5,000. We're hoping to kind of parlay our success this coming week and encourage, hey, we do this every month. Come out and do the turkey trot with us. But you can see all the things that we're doing, in your free time when you guys have it. I know that most of you don't, but we've got a robust website. We get about 300,000 or 400,000 hits on our website every month. People looking for events, looking for ways to be active. We're just gonna continue to grow. We've had more membership, numbers growth in the last 2 years, which is kind of counter what the industry is saying. Our events have continued to grow. We'll have over 24,000 participants in our events throughout the year this year. So that's a big number for us. We've never hit the 20,000 mark. So 24,000, 25,000 will really help cement us as a running club that it's just validation for us, because what we want to see happen and what we wanted to see happen 62, 63 years ago was just people be active. Sedentary life is prevalent now more so than ever before. And so for us to be able to provide opportunities for people through group runs, through group training, and through all the different events that we do, you know, it's validation for us that the sport that we love and the hobby, and it's really a lifestyle, it becomes a lifestyle for people. The gentleman who had run every day as well, like it becomes an addiction, but it's a healthy one for the most part. I don't advocate for 13 and a half years. That was an unhealthy addiction, but you know, whether it's mental health, physical health, or just wanting to be around people because you can't play the sport that you did growing up, basketball, football, volleyball, swim, like there's always a greenway, there's always a sidewalk. We've got great retail partners that have great shoes that can get you there. So I'm grateful for you guys listening to me. I wish that I didn't have to run and leave, but this event this weekend, we stuffed packets. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a 5K where you get like a packet with your shirt. We put lots of goodies in them. Clayton headquarters has graciously allowed us and some of their staff to help us pack 5,000 bags for this weekend. So they're great. And a lot of you guys work for places or have been around places that have volunteered for marathon weekend and done things that the track club has done. And we honestly, we could not have existed for as long as we have and put on events at the level that we believe they need to be put on without community support. So I would love to take some questions and answer your pressing question. Breckenridge.
Yeah, so when my son was in high school, he ran cross country, he'd run track. I feel like every time I showed up at a meet, no matter where it was, y'all were there. You touched on it a couple times in here, but to what extent do y'all support the high school, the middle school kids, elementary school, and some of the programs that maybe you didn't touch on in your presentation?
Yeah, elementary, middle, and high school cross country and track is got to be one of the fastest growing sports in existence. And we love to see it because so many kids grow up in sports where running is their punishment. And that might have been the same for you. Maybe you played football or basketball or baseball and you ran to the foul pole and back 15 times, or you ran suicides. And so the thought of going and running brings back memories that you don't want to relive. And that's a shame because you were normally doing it in footwear that was not appropriate for running. Cleats and running are not like your feet were gonna hurt. You were gonna have shin splints and knee pain and back pain. And the footwear industry has absolutely exploded because they cater to every different type of foot that's out there, including young feet. Young people are still growing. And so we want them to get into footwear that they can get out, they can run these cross-country meets, they can do these track meets that we are supporting. We put on the Volunteer Track Classic. It's the oldest track meet in the Southeast. And this past April, it was the largest meet in the Southeast for high school only athletes. Right here in Knoxville, we put on a Tom Black track. Everybody wants to come and run on that track. We've had national champion track athletes. We've had Olympians that have run on that track. And so we had over 1,800 kids from 12 different states come in and run a track meet with us. And a lot of them are focused on track. They're not, you know, they didn't grow up doing other sports, but we want to see kids that are doing t-ball or baseball or basketball and softball in whatever season that is, be able to come out and experience running in a different way. I coach Parks and Rec soccer and I refuse to make my team run as a punishment. Like we're just not going to do it because I want that. And I come I played soccer and did a lot of running through that as well as punishment. It's not productive. And it turns them off to the idea that running can be something that's fun, that they can build community around. Everybody here has been hit up, I'm certain, for the walkathons at the schools, the raccoon romps, the tornado trots, the whatever exists. And those are great because kids can get out and be with other kids and their classmates and challenge each other to run 10 laps, or how many laps did you run? How many laps did you? Those are the fun things that we love to support. We send our arch, our time clocks to all of those different things that are happening when we get asked for it. But the commitment that we have to see the next generation of 5K runners and half marathoners and ultra marathoners starts with the youth programs that we support in the East Tennessee area.
I would say I had twin daughters that were cross country runners, and I don't think people realize the elementary level cross country is out of control now. And I mean, I think it's because of y'all. I mean, it just while my daughters were coming along, it got to the point where I think they even had to break up meets. There were so many kids, but plus anybody can do it. I mean, you know, they can take the capacity of as many kids on the team. And the coaches that were so great in my kids' lives were the coaches that would talk about the improvement. Wouldn't necessarily mean that you were the best, but showing the kids like the improvement they made over a season. And they were just some phenomenal coaches. But I give y'all kudos for everything y'all done.
I mean, I tell the 10 to 12-year-old boys that I coach in Parks and Rec, I'm not keeping score. My only job is to make sure that you have fun. And that when we get to the end of the season, that I can look at every one of you and say, and point to the improvement that you made over that time. And in cross country and track, it's easy to do because you can see where they started, what their mile time was, what their 2 mile time was, and see how they progressed. And you can go, okay, you came to practice 3 days a week for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. That's how you improve. And it happens in more than just running. Anything that you practice at and work at in life, you will see improvement in. That's just how humans are wired. When you practice things, when things become a habit, you get better at them, you get more consistent at them. So I'm glad that they had a good experience. But yeah, the elementary, we've had to like split and do like first, second, third grade, and then fourth and fifth grade, and then 6, 7, 8, and then high school. So you're right, you're not limited by 5 people on a basketball court. You're not limited by 11 on a football field. You can bring a team of 40 kids and we're gonna put them out there with all 500 other ones and they're all gonna run. And I was telling Russ, my last cross-country meet was in 2004. And Maryville College had an alumni, had homecoming this past weekend, and they had a cross-country meet that they allowed unattached runners to enter. So I entered thinking I would relive my glory days. And I don't advise that because my last cross-country meet, I won, and I went from first to worst because all of those college kids clearly beat me. But what they don't tell you, what they don't tell those poor kids is the dust that is kicked up. I've been like sneezing dirt since Friday night. And so those kids that continue to show up that aren't in the front, that are just there to get better. I mean, the character building that happens on those cross-country meets and in those practices and in track, we love to see it, yeah. Yes.
Does Knoxville have a race walking?
We do. And it's funny you asked that because one of our most dedicated and loyal volunteers is a US track and field certified race walking coach and official. And she coaches these kids in Knoxville to do it the right way. Race walking is phenomenal. The best can race walk faster than I can run a mile. It's exceptional, but we offer race walking, and she offers these coaching clinics, and so it's a growing thing, and there's a lot of rules associated with it. I'm a track and field official that it's a weird dynamic, yeah, but yeah, it's growing.
We have time for one more question from me. So what do you have for the true sedentary adult professional who wants to restart running, walking, something?
Yes, we have 5Ks that are so walker friendly, but we encourage everybody to come volunteer first. Like if you think you want to get back into something that maybe you did when you were younger, just come and see what the community is doing. Like the community is so big, and the fact that on New Year's Day we'll have 1,000 people, I guarantee that a volunteer will see someone they know, and that will drive them to want to do something more. It'll spur a conversation, it'll get them thinking about something, and we do those every single month. So we've got 5Ks, we've got 1 miles, we added this 2.5, we've never done a 2.5K in our 62 years, but just the nature of the course on Saturday, We had a lot of people sign up to walk. We're like, we don't really want them on the KPD said, we don't really want them on the roads walking for that long. Can you do a 2.5K and send them to the stadium earlier? Absolutely. It just made it that much more accessible of an event for them. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm not sure about that reliving the glory days and, pumping up dirt for a few weeks afterwards, but thank you for doing that.
I might do it again in 20 years.
Okay. Well, it is our tradition to donate a book to a local elementary school on your behalf. And today's book is Hilo, the boy who crashed to Earth. So if you'll sign that and give us 10 seconds for a picture, we'll let you go on your way. Thank you very much for being here. Perfect. And while we're doing this, let's one clap our secretary, let him give our announcements.
All right, just a few announcements for today. So the fundraising committee that is going to meet today is gonna meet next week. Tyler cannot be here, I think he's actually in Zoom, but he will be sending out updates for this next week. Again, the fundraising committee will meet next week, not today. Next Tuesday, before the meeting, the board will meet. If you're a committee chair, you may have already been asked by your director about information on what your committee's been doing. If not, reach out to your directors, let them know what all's going on with the committee, just so we'll have those updates for the board meeting. Fun event this Thursday on the 16th from 5:30 to 7. The Community Rotary Act is having a social. They're gonna be at the 5:30 Lounge down here on Gay Street, the top of the Farragut Hotel, a really neat bar down there, but that's at 5:30 this Thursday. Come on out and see them. So our next Beardsley Farm where we're packing the foods is this week. It is full, however, on the 13th of November and the 11th of December, we do have openings if you'd like to do that. And then also one other hold today. So on the 16th of December, instead of having our meeting here, we're gonna have a meeting in the evening on the 16th. We have a Christmas party. It'll be for members and guests. We'll be sending out more information. It should be a little festive event we're trying to have. And we'll take a reservation for that. First, a little more information on that, and back to you, President Shannon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. And I'd like to rehash just a bit and thank a couple of our committees for really great social events that we've had recently. Thank you to Joe Staff and the Social Events Committee for a great evening a week ago at the Nielsen Planetarium on UT's campus. We had excellent refreshments. Thank you very much to the committee. And the planetarium show was excellent. I love space. And I wasn't the only one in this club. We had a full house, 31 seats, and we got to see a planetarium show about deep space, the planets, how our solar system formed, the Hubble telescope. We got to see live pictures. I mean, it was really fascinating. And they're actually getting an even better lens. So they're going to have an even better show. And if you'll check their website, it's on UTK Nielsen Physics Building. They actually do shows for small donations, about 3 Fridays a month. So check it out. That was excellent. Thank you to Joe for getting us on campus and with excellent parking because it was fall break. So that was great. And the Social Activities Committee also arranged a private tour of the historic Bijou Theater. We did not hear about the ghosts, but we did get to go up on the top floor. We saw where it used to be a hospital for Union soldiers, and it was some other things, but we won't talk about that. But now it's a fabulous theater, people know. And that was followed by fraternizing next door at the bistro. So 2 great events. Thank you very much to everyone for that. And I'd like to thank all of our guests and our members on Zoom. Sorry you couldn't be here, but we're glad that you could through Zoom. We invite our guests to come back, and I'd like to tell you what we're doing next week. We have a great program. Stephen Stryper, the CEO of ORNL, the lab, the director. He's going to be here right here at the Crown Plaza of Knoxville. Thank you to Vittorio Bavarossi for lining that up. We've only tried for about 5 years to get the director to come, so excellent. And I don't know, does anybody have any questions? We have some extra time, comments, smart, Sandy?
I really, really hate that I missed the planetary thing.
Yeah.
Is there any way we could maybe schedule another one in the spring or?
I think that the The man who puts that on has been there for 30 years, an astronomer, Paul Ray, you know him. What's his last name?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
The professor. He would love to do that, I think. So, do we have anyone else who would be interested in going to the planetarium? Me? Oh, I think we've got 31 right in.
Rest warmly. I honestly had to leave early. It was so freaking.
You should have sat, you should have sat next to me next to the AC, it'd be colder right there. Okay, Michael Bear, if you will come forward, Michael's gonna lead us in a 4-way test, and don't miss next week. Thank you, guys. I know that you.
Funny boy test. Is it the truth?
Is it fair?
Is it Harold, sir? Harold build the goodwill that ever makes sense. Be then I guess all sir.
Thank you, guys.
I swear. We had it set up perfectly, everything was going great, the minute the meeting started, the internet went out, the whole thing collapsed. Hi, how are you?
Last week, I was at the beach with my family, fall break.
Yes,
Now, tried to zoom in and my hotel internet was messing up. But I got in for about the last 30 minutes. Can you give me credit?
yes,
Okay,
I think so.
fine.
If you show up on the list, I check you
I
off.
showed up, but it was late. I couldn't get in on time.
That's okay.
All right. And who's the,
I'm not the attendance.
who's the
police.
current, who's the current program chair?
Russ,
Russ is? Okay.
yes. He was just there.
I'll talk to Russ.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Hi, Scott.
Hello.
How are you doing?
How about you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Good.
As I told Lisa, come to my office.
I'm not kidding. I know. I'm sure you get bombarded here.
Oh, not too bad. Yes, I think we just have one spot in November and one spot in December.
Now, as far as the sign up, do you send that out like every now and then, or is it that people need to go the link?
There's a link, and it's in the newsletters. We have. Yeah, I don't think it's like, we're not that bad. So
Okay.
it seems fine. There's
Somebody
just,
asked me on the way in, they're like, yeah, I want to go, but I'm not sure how to sign.
oh,
I just don't want to sign up for all of them because I want everybody else to have a chance also.
Sure.
tell them to also just, they can call me.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
for them.
Okay. And I just want to make sure I want to check because I want to go too, but I almost feel like in the background. Because we don't get enough. I got a truck too. But I can get it 2:30.
I think there's the last one in
If you don't mind, every now
December.
and then just give me like, hey, we're good for November, we're good
Okay.
for December, and if, we're starting to get a gap here and there, if you let me know that I can encourage people.
Okay.
I want to go. I just need to show up.
Additional funds.
We had proof that $3,000 to go to purchase that. Is that all done? Or do I need to do something to get that done?
That's a great question.
So I took them down.
I don't know what's going on in Beardsley right now.
Okay.
I think literally no one.
And if I can, and I want to put this way, if they don't need it. Because,
Yeah.
when we met, it was like, all right, if we can get you additional funds, we think we can do it
Every
every week.
Yeah,
Now, since I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. If they don't need it, we should.
And if they don't need more right now, then.
I don't know that they've spent any of the money. I haven't been sent any requests,
Okay, let's just.
but I don't know, there's been a lot of staffing changes over there, so I don't know if that's why. But I figured,
Because like I said, we haven't met with, when we met with you, it's kind of like, we'll get that clear, that way we can do extra all 4 weeks.
Yeah,
If they're not
gonna
quick
do
to
it.
do all that, then I just don't want to throw out money,
Yeah,
because that would go back into what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. The way that it's worked in the past is I just sent Allison the invoices for the food.
Sure.
So I haven't gotten any invoices.
Okay, just let me know.
Yeah.
We'll hold off on that then. If you
Okay.
start seeing that, let me know.
Okay,
Okay,
well, you know.
okay.
And then, okay, so I have on here, oh, let me end this.